Welcome to At the Table Lecture, and as usual, I have no idea what I'm going to say to introduce this next.
Very, very emotional, and that's the stuff I'm into now. It's emotional magic. Spanish style emotional magic.
Take your ego out of the equation.
That was why I switched to Spanish.
Well, there you go.
It's because I can still do the slides, but it seems super, Danny de Ortiz. It's your life.
Clever.
It's very out of my hands.
Yeah.
Right? So I like that. It's Spanish now. It's very hands-on. Take the second to bottom card and in-jog it. In the action of just touching these.
Yeah. So
Very Spanish. This is why I love Spanish style magic so much. It's because, again, I'm showing this, and this would be great for lay people, but it's also great for magicians, because Spanish magicians create magic not to fool lay people or magicians, but to fool humans. And that's what I love so much about them. I'm going to convert like all of them.
books is where the gold is. That's way too close. Where's my aura?
Camera 3.
He's in my aura.
Oh, yeah, I read it earlier, right?
Oh, very uncomfortable. Okay.
So, all
I
right.
have to make manly sounds when someone gets that close to me.
The purple man, remember? Yeah. Woo. I don't know why we're ending on that.
1 in a million.
Cheers. Cheers to Juan. He's 1 in a million. You're supposed to drink after cheers. Whatever. He did drink in the past. I'm still here. I told him the cure for cancer, and you've ignored it. I can only say it once. Guys, if you were listening, I'm going to tip this. If you show this to a magician, I will fly to where you are and I will eat your face, because it is so good. The fam. You'll see, this is totally different. This is totally different style, right? And I'm not doing the full performance for you guys because I need the energy from the audience to it's like a vampire. I need to feed off the energy. You get me, right?
Where did you first learn it?
Erdness.
Okay.
Expert at the card table. Read it. It's amazing. But it's actually printed incorrectly, I think, in Erdness. Are you familiar with the Ascanio spread? You have to be. It's just because it's based on the style of Leipzig's opener from Stars of Magic.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Stars of Magic? I mean, most people, if you're familiar with Stars.
Confused.
That's an independent creation. I've never seen it, but I'm
Wait,
sure.
is this yours?
Yes. So I've never seen it, but it's such an obvious leap that what I'm saying right now, and I said this earlier, is it can be original.
What would you say are the 5 essential card
haven't even-
slates? 5 essential card slates a beginner should learn first. And a question to Greg: are you the son of Mark Wilson? Blah 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 blah.
Yes. The answer is yes to all of
Okay.
those.
Yes.
The 5
yes,
essential
and
card
yes.
slates you should learn are yes, but the issue is at the end they all end up face down. So I'm thinking maybe I should show more face up cards.
If I could be so bold, I think
Yeah.
you're overthinking it.
Maybe I am.
I think they just see a big mess.
And by the way, there's a moth. By the way, a lot of people ask how to practice the Classic Force. I have a method, because you can't. Before now, you really can't practice it. You just have to do it, right? So you know those Halloween stores that sell costumes and stuff? You know those little candy bowls where there's a skeleton hand and then when it has a sensor, so you put your hand inside, the hand will come down. Classic Force practice. Isn't that cool? Interesting idea. Anyway, go get one. How much you want to bet? All the magicians go and buy all the candy bowls offline. Anyway, which is incredible and uses clocking, which I actually do like to do this with clocking with a shuffle deck, but I'm not going to teach that here because first, too hard for people. It's mentally difficult. You know what clocking is.
You got them interested.
I won't teach it here.
But tell them what clocking
It'll
is.
go way. You can figure out what a card. Take one.
Don't piss him off. He'll show you something.
Don't show me. All right. This isn't stack, but I'll do it without stack. I promise I'm doing it without stack. Okay, yeah.
9 of diamonds on the face. That would have been
Yeah, that
fun.
would have been so awesome. What the hell is...
Oh, that's from when you...
Okay, this is gonna... Whatever. You can figure out what card is... Whatever. You can figure out what card is missing by looking at the faces. It's a math thing. Eugene Berger does it. This change that I do called the asteroid change. And I won't show it to you now because it does not look good on camera. It's for one person. It's really, really, really tough. And I can do it now, pretty much every time.
What was it?
29 minutes, 34 seconds.
Is it a world record?
Yeah. But
Was Guinness there?
no, but I have a video recording.
29 minutes and 34 seconds.
Do you know how sore I
You
was after
couldn't
that?
get to 30 minutes, you loser? Really?
I'll pack up.
Wow.
I'll go home. I'll go shuffle my
29
cards at
minutes.
home.
And he just doesn't want to release it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
He calls it the 30-minute padiddle, but
Yeah, it's an
You can't release it yet.
imaginative title, but I don't want to. No one used it. It was just a principle. 8 kings, people would use that. It's disgusting. If you use 8 kings, I'm sorry, but it's pretty gross.
It's like Stebbins.
It's also disgusting. Stanky, no, the Stebbins! This is the best joke I've ever seen in my entire life. I have a lot of work on Triumph. In fact, it's my favorite plot in Magic. And the reason is because I think it's a miracle. And I don't think a lot of card tricks are inherently miracles. And I say card tricks because the thing is, a card to impossible location is not a card trick. It uses a card as an object, right? It could just as easily, if you use the presentation, it could just as easily be anything, right? Triumph is inherently a card trick, right? It has to do with the faces and the backs, which is something that is unique to a deck of playing cards. I studied Triumph exclusively for 6 months, about 2.5 years ago. I only did Triumph for 6 months. I performed other sleights. I practiced other sleights, but the only thing I practiced or performed as far as an effect is concerned was Triumph. And this is when I
Did
wasn't
you ever
working.
come up with a reason why?
Yes.
Because once it gets motivated and there's meaning behind it, now you have your miracle.
Shout outs to my friend Joshua Talbot. I was teaching him for a long time. Still, I think he'd still consider me one of his teachers. He has, in my opinion, he gave me permission to share it on this because I was going to say. And that's not the presentation I use for lay people. I'm teaching you guys sleights in this section. I'm not teaching you presentation. That comes later. He has the best presentation for Triumph I've ever heard. And I did this for some guys earlier. I won't show you this Triumph routine because I won't show it. Listen to this. How do you know that when I'm mixing the cards, I'm genuinely doing what I'm saying I'm doing? You really don't, right? I could be doing a really convincing false shuffle. So the only way I can determine that you actually can see that I'm shuffling the cards is by mixing them face up and face down. I mean, like, if you compare... Best presentation for Triumph I've ever heard, right? At the end of the day, Magic is about connecting with your audience. Magic is about being a human being and being okay with the fact that you're a human being open to the fact that we are mortal, that we have very finite time on this planet, that we can be hurt, that we can be injured, and that we can recover, and that we do persevere as a result. And I think that Magic has a way of just finding all of these innate qualities of being human that we always take for granted and brings them to the surface. And not enough Magic nowadays does that, and that's why I started attempting to do
I avoid to death what I call fantasy patter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
My
Here's the
hand is a bank. I take the
Oh,
coin, I deposit them.
gross.
Shut up, that's your hand. Just, how do you make it feel real?
How do you go about adding meaning and emotion to your Magic?
Dude, you have to be hurt. No, I'm serious. I've been hurt by women a hell of a lot.
What hurt worse,
Physically and
the woman
emotionally.
or the femur?
That's a tough question. You really have to have, and I know I'm 20 saying this, and the thing is, you have to understand that I recognize the irony in me saying this, but you have to have experienced some, and I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to swear, but you have to have experienced some crazy shit in your life. Yeah, don't make unimportant things important. Jamie and Swiss. Jamie and Swiss, the method is not the trick. You know, that's actually interesting. I've never read Card College. Isn't that crazy? He has poker deals and stuff built into his stack. But I just that's not Magic to me anymore. All the stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you right now, and you can definitely tell a shift in the personality and the persona and the tone of my performance. Everything that I did besides Leipzig, everything that I did for you before, besides the moves, which I use, and they're fun to show off, I never use, and I think that they're bad Magic. I use them sparingly. I'll do visual stuff in a club or loud situation because it's the only thing you can do, and across language barriers. Super, super awesome. But I think you can agree with me and I think they can agree with me because that's the only one that got like applause. Like you couldn't hear it because of microphones, but they got crazy applause from 5 people. 6, George.
Who just laughed?
Yeah, exactly. That's Magic. You saw, that was like 2 seconds. I'm able to determine what card is missing. And that is just because I know the stack so well that I was able to instantly go. And you saw when I was doing the effect, I'm looking for 2 missing cards. And it happened, I was able to go, done. 10 seconds?
So get to the...
But the part, I will not explain that effect. It's too good. And I do it so much. That may come out at some point. I'm sitting on a lot of Memdeck stuff right now. So that may come out at some point. But whenever I practice, and this is a tip that I do, for at least an hour every day, I use a metronome.
That's what Ross Bertram used to do.
Right, exactly. And David Ben is a really good example of, because he's one of my teachers.
Another Canadian.
He's Ross Bertram's student.
Yeah.
That's why. I don't know if you knew that. Not a lot of people know that. He has the best diagonal palm shift ever. Anyway, so I practice using a metronome, and I time it to my every 5 minutes or so. I'll check to make sure it's the same as my heartbeat, and so I'll use my own circadian rhythm to my advantage. And then the other half is flash memorized. You know, I have a weird memory thing. I have a mind palace. I assign rooms to all my memories, and it's a crazy picture system. So as you can tell, I do this a lot because it's like very muscled right there. My hands are crazy freakish, right? So like my nails grow in a day. I have to clip them every day. Really been in magic that long, only about 5 years. I just practice for about 14 hours every day. So that's why I progressed very rapidly. And I'll tell you my Genesis story in a little bit. That's what I call the origin story for magician, like superheroes. Right? Well, I practice 14 hours a day, so that's like, you know, it's, well, I mean, I also remember the page numbers of where everything is, so it's not really.
I know.
Anyway, so, and I memorized both mnemonica and Aronson. Well, I'm still working on Aronson. I don't have it down like I have mnemonica. I have so much more Memdex stuff that we didn't get to. I'm so happy about that, because that's the good stuff.
Look. How many sleights or variations on sleights have you created in your
should've-
lifetime? Oh, that's a weird
Too many.
question.
Too many to count. I don't want to do it anymore.
It was so much fun
Too
the
much
first
unreleased
time.
material. Let's talk about some Classic Force stuff.
Bring it on.
Do you like Classic Force? Do you do it? You've got to do it. Yeah, I know he does. He's the dude. He's the dude. He's the classic dude. He's classic.
See-
And the thing is, like, I don't get it. And if I'm, with all due respect to you, you've been in Magic, what, how many years?
37.
37 years. I was going to say 35. That's pretty good. I still don't think you get it. I don't think anybody gets it, except for Juan. Like Carl Hein. Take Carl Hein, for example, right? Say I lived in New York and I had a gig and I couldn't make it. I'd call Carl Hein any day for a gig. I'd call you any day for a gig. Because you're good. Because Carl Hein is good. But you're both, I wouldn't call you like emotional, and you can, it's okay, you can feel how you feel. But I wouldn't call you magicians, because I have a word. I have a word that I say. I'd call you tricksters.
Oh, I'm definitely not that.
You're not? Okay, maybe it's just because I know your material.
No, I actually don't, though.
Okay. Oh, maybe I don't.
The stuff I present is mostly older.
Exactly, same thing. Exactly. So let's take Carl Hein. He's a trickster, but he's a really good trickster. So he doesn't have to use emotional magic in order for it to be powerful. I think I do.
You touch me, it's like no one else ever touched me. Kiss me and all other kisses just fade.